His Excellency Mr. Charles Whiteley, EU Ambassador.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Good evening, Honourable Chief Guest, MP Ab-ul Kalam Azad. Great pleasure to be with all the distinguished panellists today. I'm delighted to be here. It's good to see some very familiar companies at the Marinetech exposition. I've visited several of them. I think I first visited a shipbreaking yard in 2006 during my first posting in Bangladesh. Fast forward 15 years and I've visited several since I returned, ship recycling yards, and the transformation of this sector is absolutely remarkable, and I would pay tribute to everybody here who's made that possible, from government to the industry to other stakeholders. So a big congratulations for the direction in which the industry is now heading. From an EU perspective, this industry is immensely important because nearly 90% of the EU's external freight trade is conducted by sea, and the shipping industry is at the top of the European Union's economic and environmental agenda. And if you see the regulations that are coming out of the EU, they're designed to try to support the green transition across the globe. The green transition here in Bangladesh is one of our 3 priorities for cooperation with the government, civil society and other stakeholders. But we want to join forces to tackle substandard shipping across the world, reduce the risk of serious maritime accidents, and minimise the environmental impact of maritime transport. It's been very interesting to see some of the presentations in that regard today. We also actively combat piracy and terrorism threats, and we're collaborating with Bangladesh under the EU Strategy for Cooperation in the Indo-Pacific, our Crimario initiative, which aims to enhance maritime security and safety in the Indo-Pacific through cross-sectoral, interagency and cross-regional collaboration, including combating illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing. And we seek to build this maritime capacity against drug trafficking, human trafficking and wildlife crime. I'm very pleased that Bangladesh is now fully on board with this initiative. An essential focus of the EU in the shipping sector is on, of course, the social dimension, improving working conditions, health and safety in the industry. And I recall, again, which shows the transformation in Bangladesh, a film called Iron Crows, which came out 13 years ago, which really shone a spotlight on some of the shortcomings in the Bangladesh industry. And now again, you fast forward 14 years and see the amazing transformation that's happened across the compliance sectors. So in the past, we've supported the IMO in helping to support that transformation here. And while many companies still need to do some work, investing significantly to improve safety, health and environmental standards and aligning with international conventions really will pay dividends. And of course, it's expensive, and that's why we must all pay tribute to those who've invested in the industry here to make it internationally compatible, not least compatible with the Hong Kong Convention. Regarding, as we've heard several times, regarding the climate impact of shipping, we in the EU actively support the IMO in implementing its 2023 greenhouse gas strategy, which targets net zero emissions from ships by 2050. And we heard in the presentation that shipping is presently responsible for 3% of emissions. And we're investing as the EU in developing and combining clean solutions such as shoreside electrification, wind-powered transport and synthetic fuels based on clean hydrogen. We're supporting the establishment of a global network of maritime technology cooperation centres to help less developed countries address the climate impact of shipping activities. And there's a €10 million energy efficiency project supporting beneficiary countries in limiting and reducing greenhouse gas emissions from their shipping sectors through various measures. And I hope Bangladesh can be part of that. Overcoming technological and economic barriers to the decarbonisation of the shipping sector is crucial, and Europe is not only a global leader in shipping but also in the green transition. And some of our large shipping lines are preparing to operate ocean-going container vessels on carbon-neutral e-methanol or sustainable biomethanol to achieve these climate goals. So we need a level playing field in the shipping sector. The European shipping sector operating in Bangladesh and transporting Bangladesh exports worldwide does face some challenges. Since 2015, restrictions have limited full foreign investment, allowing only up to 49% equity for foreign shareholders here in Bangladesh. And while the 2019 flag vessels law allows for waivers from the 50% cargo reservation rule, the 2023 rule does introduce new requirements that complicate obtaining such waivers. So these legal and operational barriers have caused service disruptions and business uncertainty for EU shipping operators in Bangladesh. I hope these can be resolved in the fullness of time. Europe, as we all know, is Bangladesh's largest export destination, and that's facilitated by European shipping lines, so we all have an interest in making this recipe right. So we stand with Bangladesh, not only in transporting your exports globally, but also in transitioning Bangladesh's shipping sector to a greener future in line with IMO's climate strategy. Let's continue to make this a positive pillar of our collaboration, and I wish you all every success in continuing the amazing transformation of this sector in Bangladesh. Thank you.
Thank you, His Excellency, Mr. Charles Whiteley, EU Ambassador, for delivering his valuable speech in front of us and the engagement of EU in maritime sector of Bangladesh.